From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. It is Friday, the best day of the week. I love Fridays. So pretty much it is my favorite day of the week, to be honest with you. So, man, let's get to it. Friday night lights in college football tonight. We got Middle Tennessee State at Charlotte in a Conference USA matchup tonight. This should be a good one. You have a Middle Tennessee team coming in here. Don't let their record fool you. They got a big win last week against San Antonio, who's another conference foe. They beat that team by 2 touchdowns last week. So they started off the season as a de facto sparring partner. So it makes it look like that, they might have been struggling. But those games, they really weren't supposed to win those games anyway. So that's why pretty much you have the situation that you have now with them coming into the game 1-2. You have Charlotte 2-1. Charlotte actually played Duke to open up the season as well, too. Played Duke very well, to be exact. Beat them 31-28. Lost last week to Georgia State, who is one of the better teams in the Sun Belt. So, pretty much Charlotte coming back, trying to bounce back off that loss last week. And actually, let me take that back. Middle Tennessee State was actually beat by San Antonio last week. Sorry about that. And they opened up the season against Virginia Tech and were beat by them as well, too. So pretty much, and their one win of the season is against, of all teams, Monmouth FCS school. So pretty much when you look at this one, you got two teams that are not the greatest in the world at either offense or defense, averaging about 25 points a game on each side. But the one thing that Charlotte stands out with is the running game. Charlotte is averaging 192.7 on the ground per game. And Middle Tennessee comes in with the better passing stats, averaging 240.7. So when you look at this game on paper, the game looks more even than anything. I really do think that this should be a fun game tonight. It's Conference USA. Their games are always very watchable and very fun to participate in. You know what I mean? So pretty much there it is, Middle Tennessee State and Charlotte. We'll see where we're going when we get to talking tickets in a bit. All right, so up next we have Wake Forest plus 145 tonight at Virginia minus 170. This is an ACC matchup tonight. You have an undefeated Wake Forest team that's 3-0 coming into this game. You got Virginia, who is 2-1 coming into this game. Virginia did, they pretty much last week got blown away by North Carolina after disposing of Illinois at home. They went to Chapel Hill. Things weren't the same. Wake Forest last week beat Florida State by 21 points. You know what? 10 years ago, you could never say anything like that, but that's just how low the Florida State program has went down in the recent years. So pretty much you have Wake Forest coming in here. They're a better running team than they are a passing team. Virginia is actually the second best passing attack in the nation with averaging 438 yards per game. So this is pretty good. And they are number 6 when it comes to total yards per game with 558. But the one thing about Virginia is they have given up their fair share amount of points this year, coming with a 59-point drubbing as well, too. So, you have to factor that part in as well. A 59-point situation where, 59 points is 59 points. So we know that Virginia's defense is probably not really that good, but they're averaging 41 points a game. Wake Forest is averaging 39 points a game. There's not really much that separates these two teams, but I think that Sam Hartman should be up for a pretty good game. But we have Brennan Armstrong as well, too, who is just lights out. He threw for 554 last week, but that was junk stats because Come on, they lost 59-39. Week prior to that, threw for 405, then threw for 339. So this guy is hemming it out there. And you know what? He is finally coming into his own. Last year, he was the starter, but he didn't have that great of a year. This year, out the gate, he's has 11 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, and he is thrown for 1,298 yards. So this is some pretty good stuff, and it's literally like half. It's literally like 60% of what he did last year when he finished with 2,117. So be on the lookout for this guy. Maybe he might be somebody that we'll look at in the end to see that if he's might be winning the Davey O'Brien Award or something of that nature. But all in all, this is probably the game of the night. Even though both teams aren't ranked, it's still a really good game. So I like where we're going with this one, and I got something for you guys for this. And it's going to be on the value side as well, too. All right, we move forward, and we have ourselves the Liberty at Syracuse game. And, it's always the Carrier Dome on a Friday night. So pretty much, Carrier Dome Friday night, Liberty coming in minus 250 favorite. Well, we know Liberty is one of the best independent schools in the nation, not named Notre Dame. And Syracuse is a struggling situation. Dino Babers has been there for some time now, and things still haven't turned around the way that they would want it. But all in all, though, they know that Syracuse isn't a big football school. But this game right here is one that they've probably have circled on their calendar, a game that they can win as well, too. Being that Liberty is a try-hard situation. They have good scheme, they execute, but they don't have the same athletes that Syracuse has. So they're really winning this game on heart and hustle. So pretty much Syracuse should be able to match that today. And hopefully they can get home with a nice cover. I'm not going to say they win the game, but I'm taking them to cover this game for sure. All right, so we move on, and we have ourselves a Mountain West matchup tonight. And this is going to be a fun one. You got UNLV 25-1 tonight. Fresno State, monster favorites, and now are the favorite to win the whole thing in the Mountain West as well, too, this year. They have a quarterback that may become a top 10 pick as well, too. There's a lot of things working in Fresno State's favor. But if any team can annoy you when it's time to make a bet in a situation like this, it's UNLV. When you think that they're not going to show up, they wind up losing the game by 3 touchdowns. When you think they will show up, they lose the game by 60. You just don't know what team you're going to get when you're dealing with UNLV coming into this game. But on Friday nights, they've fared well. And Fresno State's an old rival. They've been going back and forth with each other since the Big West days. So pretty much what I see here is a very, very intriguing matchup because you have a 30-plus point spread tonight, okay? And, when you got a team already up 30 points to start the game on the bets, then, that's always kind of a strong play, especially in a rivalry game like this one. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but everything is looking pretty good to me tonight when it comes down to college football and Friday Night Lights. There's a lot of value here tonight. There's a lot of plays that you can jump into as well. But all I say is that don't overbet any of these games. We got plenty of games tomorrow on Saturday as well, too. And be on the lookout for the world-famous bets list as well, too. I was going to put them up on the show, but I don't want to take up too much time today. Just, pretty much it's Friday. It's a busy day for me. So all in all, I want to this is what we're doing. I'm going to have my bets for you guys when we get to Talkin Tickets and, pretty much confirm why I'm going in that direction as well, too. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Cappers.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, we are back with the Primetime Angles, the premier sports betting show with your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper. And as you guys already know, it's Blue Crew Daily time. So pretty much the Dodgers right now are a game back, 98 wins on the season to 55 losses, while you have a Giants team that's 99 wins, 54 losses. So, man, it just can't get any closer than that. It's almost like, wow, you look to yourself and you say, is it like 1954 again? Because like this reminds you of the series that set up the greatest shot heard around the world or something of that nature, because that's how it's kind of coming down to it. Now, if you had an open situation, this would be so much better for the Dodgers and Giants where they don't have to breathe so hard every single day, because at the end of the day, both these teams are really good, but hopefully the gas doesn't run out here for either of these squads, because we have a team that's been playing really good baseball, and that's the St. Louis Cardinals. And I wouldn't want to be that team that has to play the St. Louis Cardinals in that second wild card spot, because unlike the Padres and the Reds, these guys have really real experience when it comes to winning in the fall. So pretty much you want to avoid that, but to make it great, you got to take on those matchups as well too. So we'll see how it goes, but all in all, you want to avoid a team like St. Louis who's red hot over the last 2 months, like literally the best record in all of baseball over the last few months, because they just been killing it. So we'll see how it goes. But the Dodgers, everything starts tonight in Arizona. You're a game back. By the end of the weekend, you can be up a game if everything can work itself out. But the Dodgers have to win the games first. The games are starting to get tougher to win now, because as teams know that they're about to head out to Cancun and all that good stuff, it starts becoming spoiler ball, because some teams might be thinking about other things on a day where they need to be thinking about winning that game. So pretty much when it comes down to it, you have yourself a very, very intriguing race. We got 9 games left to go in the season as well, too. The season actually ends very, very soon as well, too. The season's going to actually end next weekend from what I'm seeing, right? So pretty much we have that in regards, and, it's going to be a long week this week. That's all I can say. And I think that a lot of us are going to be very, very surprised on what happens at the end of the day as well, too. So the Dodgers, Giants got until October 3rd to figure out who's going to take this division. And the Dodgers have the tougher end of it, because the final weekend the Dodgers have to play the Milwaukee Brewers, the second best team in the third best team in the National League. So, hey, it's a good way to measure where you're at, and it could possibly be the best way for you to get into winning your title as well to the NL West. But it's all good. It's all good. This is what it's all about, and the parity is on. All right, so we got the Yanks at the Red Sox, and the Yanks at the Red Sox. This is going to be a good game. You have the oldest rivalry in baseball, the most important rivalry in baseball, and you have these two squads going at it today once again. Now, the Red Sox jumped out on the Yankees early in the season, probably won the first 8-9 games in a row, and the Yankees have came back around and they've won about the last 6 in a row. So this is going to be a very, very fun matchup, because these teams are not far apart from who's going to be in the first wild card spot. But the loser of the series might have to deal with the fact that they might get overtaken by the Blue Jays this weekend as well, too. So these 3 teams in the AL East they're going at it. And as you can see, the Rays are over there yawning, almost laughing to the playoffs as we speak, because they've been consistently good all season. And when they took over first place, they did not look back a few months back from the Red Sox. So This game winds up being a pretty important game tonight, probably our most important game of the night. And we'll see how it shakes out. We'll see how it goes. But from what I see here, I like the pitching matchup here. You got Garrett Cole going against Evaldi. And I'm saying to myself that this winds up being a pitcher's duel, and you should look to bet the under in this game. All right, we got the Royals at the Tigers. The Royals at the Tigers. This one I know has been featured a lot in our pick sixes over this year as well too. And pretty much we have Carlos Hernandez on the mound, 6-2 on the year, 73 strikeouts. And then we have Casey Mize, 111 strikeouts this year, 7-8. And I feel like I've already reviewed this matchup about 30 times. But once again, you got Carlos Hernandez here, who's been pitching really good. And Casey Mize is one of the better pitchers for the Tigers. So this should be a really good game pitching-wise tonight. But I think that I have to give the edge to the KC Royals in this spot. I think that they're going to be able to take care of their business, get themselves a nice little victory here, and you get a good number 2 with the -115. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move on to Florida, and we have the Marlins at the Rays. So this is a battle of South Beach right here. We got South Florida, not South Beach, but we have the Marlins +220, and then you have the Rays -275. The Rays coming into this game, they still need to kind of to win a few more games to solidify themselves and lock down the Eastern title in the AL. Because if they lose like 6-7 in a row, then the Red Sox can maybe catch up with them, but I doubt it, at the end of the day. When I'm looking at this game tonight, though, you got a Marlins team coming in here in their last 5, losers of their last 3 out of 5, but the Rays are losers of their last 3 out of 5 as well, too. And then you have David Robertson pitching for them tonight. And, Robertson hasn't been pitching much for the Phillies, and he's really just a spot guy. He just comes in for an inning, and that's about it. So pretty much what you got here is a guy that is not going to give up, is probably going to be very safe before you bring in the actual pitcher for the night. Edward Cabrera, pitching for the Marlins tonight. The same thing with him. He's not a spot starter, but he was just called up on the 25th of August, and he had a really good outing last time out. He struck out 7, gave up 3 runs, but also allowed 5 hits, but still had a career high 7 strikeouts in his last game. This is a guy that they're going to be heavy on for the future here with the Marlins, and all they're trying to do is get this guy some innings and things of that nature. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And I think what happens here is that possibly the Marlins can pull an upset, but I think they keep the game close. So I'm taking them with the run line with the +1.5. Then we have the Mets at the Brewers tonight. The Mets going into this game as the Mets opened up as a +125. Right now they're at +115. They have Tyler McGill on the mound, their young stud who's been really good, but he's been struggling as of late. He's actually lost his last 2 starts in a row. So pretty much this guy looks to bounce back. Had a great game against the Yankees where he struck out 10 over 7 innings in that spot, but then came back around against St. Louis and got absolutely battered. 6 runs, 9 hits in 3 innings. So he wants to, save face a bit here, and he has good size to him. The guy's 6'7", you know what I mean? And so pretty much I know the Mets are looking for him to be the future, one of their future star pitchers as well. Things just haven't been the same since Jacob deGrom got hurt with the squad. So pretty much, I think the Mets can mail it in for the season, but they'll play hard tonight. And I think that they pull off a nice little upset here against the Brewers, who've been kind of uneasy a little bit lately because really they ain't got nothing to play for. They've already clinched their playoff spot, and they're just games away from clinching the NL Central. So when I look at this spot tonight, I'm going for a little bit of a shy upset tonight, and that's going to be the Mets with the +115. We'll see how it shakes out. We'll see how it goes. Then we have ourselves another spot tonight. We have the Cubs and the Cardinals. The Cubs and the Cards tonight. The Cubs, this is game 2 of a doubleheader as well. They're going right now in game 1. The Cardinals are up 2-0. Bottom of the 4th, bases loaded for the Cubbies, but the Cardinals are up 2-0, bottom of the 4th, and that's game 1 of today as well, too. But game 2 is going to be at 5 o'clock our time, so 7 o'clock Central time. Got Davies going against Flaherty. Flaherty's 9-2 on the season, and he's 81 strikeouts over 24 walks. Last time out, he only went 2 innings. I'm guessing because he had a little bit of maintenance work, but he did. It was whatever. He gave him 4 runs and struck out 1. I don't think this would warrant you being pulled out the game that quickly, but he was pulled out the game kind of fast. And then the game prior to that, though, he struck out 8 against Milwaukee in a very crucial and important game. So tonight is another very crucial and important game for this squad. So I'm thinking to myself that the Cardinals should be A1 tonight, and I think the Cardinals actually win this game by 2 or more runs, to be honest with you. So there it is. There it is. All right, so we move on, and we have our final game of the night, and this is going to be the Braves at the Padres. The Braves over here holding on steadily to that lead in the NL East. They're trying to hold off the Phillies, who had an amazing comeback last night. We're down 6-0 last night, wound up scoring 10 unanswered runs to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates last night and to add another win on to a nice little run that they got going right now in their last 10, where they've won their last 7 out of 10, while Atlanta has played it even over that time. So what we have here is pretty much a matchup between two teams going in 2 different directions right now. You have a Braves team trying to win the division and try to get into the playoffs. That's their only way in. And then you got a Padres team that was all world about 3 months ago. Now they're kind of falling apart. They got superstars arguing in the dugout. They got pitching issues, and pretty much they're starting to kind of have buyer's remorse a little bit, giving up all that good talent that they had to bring in players that aren't producing the way that they thought they would be producing at this point of the season. So pretty much the Padres look to try to stay afloat for their playoff position. As we can see now, San Diego is actually in the 5th hole now, and Philadelphia is sitting here 4.5 games back, while Cincinnati's 5.5 games back. And San Diego has dropped off the face of the earth, literally. San Diego held down that 2nd spot for a long time before being overtaken by the Reds. And it's just been an absolute struggle the last 2.5 months for this team. Ever since the All-Star break and ever since the trade deadline, this team has just really been flat. So pretty much tonight is another game for the Padres to try to gain an advantage, but Atlanta's trying to their damnedest to get away from this situation with the Phillies, which looks like it's, as I said, and I'm going to say again, it looks like it's going to boil down to the final weekend of the season between these 2 teams, to be honest with you, because they are set for a 3-game matchup, a 3-game series that weekend. I think that will settle the NL East right there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into talking tickets, and love to talk them tickets, man. And up first, we're gonna get to the Friday night college football and Friday night college football. That's not it. Let's go ahead and get it added in here. But man, that was some horse racing. Had the same image number. All right, here we go. Correction. Friday Night Lights pick 4, 16-1. We have the under 56, Middle Tennessee State and Charlotte. Wake Forest money line tonight, plus 135. Syracuse, plus 6.5. And then the over 58 with UNLV and Fresno State tonight. Single what you like in that spot. And then we have the primetime pick 6, 61-1. We have the Royals minus 110 tonight. We have the Marlins plus 1.5. Also have the Yankees and Red Sox under 9 tonight, the 1.5 with the minus 1.5 with the Cardinals. Mets tonight plus 115, and the over 8.5 with the Braves and the Padres. So there it is with that. And once again, it's Friday, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And we'll be back Monday at noon, me and Jeff, talking fallout from the NFL, just talking about what we see and what we should be doing moving forward. And then we got Monday Night Football as well too, and then we got some Monday Baseball as well too. So you guys make sure to tune in to the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles Live, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. And as I always say, if you have a hunch, bet a bunch. Always bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving. And everybody, once again, happy Friday. And I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production,